bit. So my name is Charles. I'm the CEO of the dYdX Foundation. Very happy to support the app chain track within Cosmoverse. We've been migrating, for those who did not catch up with the history of dYdX. dYdX started his first chapter, so to say, on the Ethereum side, where we reached $1 trillion of trading volumes. And then about 1 year ago, we built and launched, together with the community, the dYdX chain. And the dYdX chain has been recording $225 billion of trading volume, so more or less $1 billion a day, even though the market was not always supportive. So this app chain narrative is, I think, well illustrated by dYdX, and what we want is keep building with all of you. I'm going to give you a little bit an overview of how we've been progressing over time and what is cooking at dYdX. So a quick sum up of what dYdX is, how you can stake dYdX. We are a Cosmos SDK build blockchain, so there is an opportunity for the one who decide to stake their dYdX on the dYdX chain. And I want to kind of double click on the dYdX governance. We have the chance to have a great community which enable the software, the builders to really deploy at high velocity all the good software we have. So dYdX chain, 235 billion US dollar of trading volume since the genesis of the dYdX chain, more than 145 different tradable markets, and we will come back to these tradable markets via governance. The governance has been enabling this. More than 200 million US dollar of open interest. That's a metric we use in the world of perps. And there is an insurance fund for all the users of dYdX, which keeps growing epochs after epochs to ensure that there is always some funds aside in case of an incident. What is dYdX? dYdX, in a nutshell, is a decentralized DeFi protocol focusing on one specific market of DeFi, which is a crypto derivative. The crypto derivative is the world's largest crypto market. It's 10 times bigger than the spot market. It's a very important market where the price discovery, where a lot of the action is actually being put in shape by traders, leveraging futures contract where you can express your opinion on the market in a much more granular way. You can go long, you can go short, you can take some leverage. So all of this is enabled by the dYdX chain. The role of dYdX with the chain is essentially to offer this protocol for people who want to use it and deploy some front ends, for example. With the dYdX token, you can secure the chain via staking via validators, but you can also receive staking rewards, which are coming in USDC. That's one specificity of the dYdX ecosystem, and one specificity of the exchange is when you stake dYdX, you do not get dYdX. You get USDCs. Those USDCs are coming from the user trading fees, which they pay when they use the platform. It's a very unique proposition, which was enabled by the engineering teams involved in building dYdX, but also by the unique capabilities of the Cosmos SDK stack. So a good app chain needs to bring something very different, and this token economics has been really enabled, and I think talks to a lot of people. The token has a 1 billion maximum supply, and as we mentioned, there is a staking capabilities with the protocol. So how about the staking? What has been happening over the past 11 months in staking at dYdX? More than 38 million US dollar of USDC have been distributed to token holders who stake. So they've been bringing services to the chain, enhancing the security of the chain, and they got rewarded since inception by 38 million US dollar. About 70% today of the dYdX token have been unlocked. So there is a process within the chain with some tokens which are being unlocked every second, and we already reach 70% of this unlock. An average APR of about 11-12%. When you stake your dYdX, you get about 11 to 12% of APR today. Things might be changing in the future. Stay, I would say, in the conversations on the forums. And we have more than 45,000 of token holders. So that's very important to see how this staking ecosystem has been essentially get off the ground in the past 12 months and put some highlight on some of the key numbers here. The governance statistics are, in my opinion, extremely important. Beyond the engineering, beyond the users, and beyond the big numbers of trading volume, there is really this governance which enable engineering talents to deploy and adjust the software which is used on the dYdX chain. So we have a 33% total governance participation, and so far we recorded about 43 different proposals for a total of 160 governance proposals, including the live one. 148 passed and 6 were rejected. And what is important to look at is what kind of proposal have been submitted by the community for governance and essentially for decisions from the token holders and stakers on what could be the directions of the protocol. So for the most part, the token holders via governance have been enabling new market, new business, additional trading flow on the protocol. And this is via submitting new markets proposals for the users of dYdX to trade eventually. There was also some parameters adjustment made via governance, some community spend. So for example, the dYdX Foundation raising some funds from the community treasury in order to operate for the next 3 years. And this was done through a governance proposal, which was essentially activated and enabled by the token holders. Some software upgrades and also some kind of maintenance on the order book with when it's necessary to close some markets. So there is different way to do governance proposals, but eventually, as per today, this is constantly evolving and being upgraded. But you can, with about 2,000 dYdX token, make a proposal which will be returned to you whenever the proposal goes through. So it's a deposit to avoid some kind of spam in terms of governance, but it's also just enabled just to prevent the spam, but also it comes free of charge eventually after the 4 days or less kind of governance cycle for the state proposal. So what is dYdX cooking? You know there is hundreds of people working on dYdX via different entities, should they be grantees, the dYdX Foundation, dYdX Trading, the DAOs. We have now 3 DAOs within the dYdX ecosystem. So a lot of people are involved, and all of them are specializing in different enablements for the dYdX chain. So first, there was, at the beginning of the dYdX chain, which was last year, around the end of October, early November, there was this new chain. So a lot of work has been made to essentially connect this new chain with as many key contributors to the crypto ecosystem overall. So the dYdX chain, very quickly after the launch of the chain, was integrated essentially with Binance, OKX, and you see the list of the major CeFi players to enable CeFi players to also access to stake their dYdX and also just get some more connectivity with the chain. So the chain gets out, and then we connect further the chain. That was one part of the first work from the ecosystem. And then building the ecosystem, I would just want to say a big thank you to the DAO, the Grants DAO, a big thank you to the dYdX Foundation, dYdX Trading, some volunteers from the community to essentially bring all these pieces of the puzzle. And this puzzle is getting bigger and bigger every month, and is also designed in a way that it's really kind of focused on efficiency and pragmatism. So you see here a snapshot. We cannot put everyone's logo here, but plenty of exchanges, plenty of validators, best-in-class validators, a lot of people doing research, because it's still very experimental what we're doing, and to keep an edge, we need to keep investing in research, DAOs, more validators, infrastructure provider, custodians, market makers, wallet providers. So you see a little bit all the elements the community of dYdX and the dYdX Foundation has been engaging with to make them understand the value proposition of the chain and kind of dynamics around the dYdX chain. Token economics are very important. They keep evolving as well. Maybe you learned yesterday during the dYdX Day, which was hosted here in Dubai during Cosmoverse, a proposal coming from Nethermind in enhancing this token economics. So this is a conversation which will be happening with the community on Discord, on the forum of dYdX, and people will have time to kind of debate and eventually decide what will be the direction. But as a snapshot today, you've got a little bit a sense of how the token economics are working today. I guess the big number for you to keep in mind here is that since the inception of the dYdX token, the token monthly emission has been reduced by 75%. So we are getting closer and closer to the kind of emission cycle, and the closer we get to the end of these cycles of emissions, the less tokens get released on a monthly basis. The Grants sub-DAO is a key player within the dYdX ecosystem. It was created by the community. It's run by the community. We have some top trustees, top teams working behind that. And they've been distributing over the first 6 months of 2024 about 5 million USDCs to 47 teams, which we are building either Kepler integrations, for example, Slinky oracles, which are very important for the protocol itself to get an understanding of what is the price of the asset outside of dYdX. So community works, some R&D, a lot of marketing initiative for the launch of the chain, protocol development, infrastructure. You see here a little bit how was split the kind of distribution of the grants by the grants DAO, which operates independently from many other entities within the ecosystem. Another very important group within the dYdX chain ecosystem is the Operation sub-DAO, which was also created by the community as well as funded by the community. So a vote was kind of launched within the community to, do we want to create, yes or no, this sub-DAO, and do we want to fund, yes or no, this sub-DAO? And eventually they received this first grant, and they got another one on the way in order to build a team of core contributors which are running some key infrastructure for the dYdX chain. So the indexer, for example, doing some legal research, doing some work with the validators, making sure they get some technical support when they need to, but also launching the iOS app as well as the Android app. So you see, the same way there is for the ecosystem of dYdX, a big puzzle with some key parts. Within dYdX, I will say, a group, there is many different entities which specialize in very important missions. dYdX represent today, and you can see quite a few dYdX Foundation members here in the room. 21 contributors at the dYdX Foundation. We rose earlier this year $30 million from the community treasury. So thanks to all the supporters and token holders who enabled the foundation to expand and grow. And we've been doing a lot of works around the brand awareness of dYdX, making sure the upgrades, making sure the new things happening in the ecosystem gets well broadcasted to the market in general, attending key events, but also working on our social media presence, as it is very important for any crypto-related project. We hired a CMO, we have a new social media manager, a solid team in finance, as well as building a solution engineering team supporting the key projects who wants to get some kind of consulting support whenever they want to integrate in a permissionless way to the dYdX chain. The one news which happened a few weeks ago was the community decisions to create the third dYdX DAO. So this dYdX DAO is called the dYdX Treasury Management Sub-DAO. It has been created a few weeks ago via a governance vote, and there is one operator of this DAO which was also picked via governance, which is Karpathy, one of the top players in treasury management, coming for the most part from the Ethereum space, but with a solid experience in how to manage the treasury of the protocol itself. So if you want to know more about their plans, essentially they will be allocated some additional dYdX. They're planning to stake this dYdX, and with the USDCs they will be receiving, they will try to support financially some initiatives, but also possibly doing some buyback of dYdX as well as staking those dYdX. So deep dive into their plans. I think it's very interesting, and it's contribute to some of the flywheels we have within dYdX itself. Talking of flywheels, we shared yesterday, but I want to kind of double click on the main things which are being released in the coming weeks, which is the next upgrade of dYdX, which is named dYdX Unlimited. So essentially, it's a very big enablement of a lot of learnings after 12 months of operations as an ecosystem and a chain. And we will be enabling, via this upgrade coming up in a few weeks, permissionless market listings, which means if you want to list any kind of asset which have a price oracle already connected with the dYdX chain, you can do so. So I mentioned earlier, if you look at the governance dynamics, we already listed, thanks to governance, about an additional 100 new trading pairs. But this kind of movement will just amplify and accelerate with the permissionless market listings, which will make the listings for any kind of asset. We've seen people listing FX, such as the Turkish lira, for example. We've seen people listing the latest meme coin of the week without waiting further. So we keep trying to build with the community some value proposition at dYdX, which are very unique to DeFi, in order for us to compete further with CeFi, which is really the competitor to DeFi, in my opinion. If you think and if you kind of let your brain moving forward with this idea of permissionless listings and trade anything, the next kind of bottleneck could be liquidity. And the next upgrade of dYdX Unlimited is coming with a mega vault for liquidity and essentially APR as well for people participating in this mega vault. So when you list 100 plus different markets, there is a core market, the OG market, the Bitcoin, the Solana, the ETH market, which have an organic liquidity. So you don't need to support those markets so much to guarantee a good trading experience to users. But on the long tail side, you've got the meme coins, you've got like smaller coins in general, which will need some kind of liquidity to offer a proper experience for users. And that's where the mega vault comes in. It's essentially systematic, organic liquidity built within the protocol, which will bring some liquidity, better experience, but also bringing more fees to be essentially distributed to the validators and the stakers. So that's really one of these kind of flywheel this upgrade will enable. More market to be listed, but also more market to be supported in terms of liquidity. And that's really what is the core, I would say, value proposition when you are in DeFi. You can list all kind of things, but if the experience or the liquidity is not there, eventually your growth kind of stagnates. We keep experimenting on new markets. One of them is the prediction market. It's obviously a very hot market right now, but dYdX wanted to kind of bring what we cook the best, should I say. So prediction market on Poly market are essentially binary events. Either you win or you lose, and you have to wait for the events to conclude. So for example, if you're speaking about the elections in the US, you can take a view on the market via Poly market today, but you have to wait the elections results to eventually know if you won or lost your prediction. What dYdX is has launched already, it's already available, is the leverage prediction market. So essentially, the prediction market from Poly market is pulled in within dYdX. We wrap a futures contract around it, and it brings you much more granularity to express your opinion on the prediction market. So let's say you take the opinion that Trump will win the elections. With a prediction market plain vanilla from Poly market, you would have to wait the elections. With the same contract on dYdX, you can go long on your bet that Trump will win. So you can go 3x, 5x, you decide how much risk you want to take. You can also take you can go short, you can take some leverage, and you can also take some, I would say, some money out of your bet, the closer you get to the eventual outcome. So there is a way to kind of trade this outcome and real-world type of outcome and prediction market in a much more granular way. The last upgrade is much more technical, but if some of you are in a high-frequency trading field, it will make a lot of sense for you. The full node trading, today when you want to use dYdX via an interface or an API, for the most part, you will be essentially connecting your bot or your trading engines to the sequencer itself. And it's efficient, it's working very well, but some people want to get to another level of efficiency. So there will be an opportunity for the most experienced traders and the traders with the right engineering teams around them to run some full nodes, which are not validators. And those full nodes will essentially enhance the connectivity, having a full node connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different validators in order to broadcast their orders in a more efficient way, but also getting the latest version of the update of the order book. So dYdX Unlimited is coming in a few weeks. We're extremely excited. Our marketing team, BD team, support teams, everyone is really involved, and we look forward to celebrate this launch with you guys in a few weeks. If that's okay, I will take a quick megavolt, sorry, I will come back. We mentioned already the megavolt. I mentioned it one time. I mentioned also the prediction market with leverage. I gave you a few explanations just before. And yes, the explanations how you can essentially do the perpetual leverage trading, manage your risk in a much more granular way, and you can also settle before the end of the outcome. One big news in our ecosystem, you might have seen that in the news, the media, and social media. Antonio Giuliano, the founder of dYdX, the CEO of dYdX Trading, took a break after several years of being an entrepreneur, but eventually could not resist to come back. So he officially announced last week that he was coming back to dYdX. We're very excited to see the original founder, the giga brain that is Antonio, coming back with all the teams involved to drive the next chapters of dYdX. So that's something also for you to consider and get an update. To stay connected with us, you can connect with us here at Cosmoverse. There is a black t-shirt written dYdX on it, so please go and high-five them. They have always some good updates and ideas to share with you. But you can follow us on Twitter at dYdX, and also join the conversations on the forum at dYdX.forum. Thank you very much, you all, for joining today, and very excited to follow up the conversations later on. Thank you.